General project cost and cost control issues. During the execution of a project, procedures for project control and record keeping become indispensable tools to managers and other participants in the construction process. These tools serve the dual purpose of recording the financial transactions that occur, as well as giving managers an indication of the progress and problems associated with a project. The problems of project control are aptly summed up in an old definition of a project as any collection of vaguely related activities that are 90% complete, over budget, and late. The task of project control systems is to give a fair indication of the existence and the extent of such problems. Interpretation of project accounts is generally not straightforward until a project is completed, and then it is too late to influence project management. Even after completion of a project, the accounting results may be confusing. Hence, managers need to know how to interpret accounting information for the purpose of project management. In the process of considering management problems, however, we shall discuss some of the common accounting systems and conventions, although our purpose is not to provide a comprehensive survey of accounting procedures. The limited objective of project control deserves emphasis. Project control procedures are primarily intended to identify deviations from the project plan rather than to suggest possible areas for cost savings. This characteristic reflects the advanced stage at which project control becomes important. The time at which major cost savings can be achieved is during planning and design for the project. During the actual construction, changes are likely to delay the project and lead to inordinate cost increases. As a result, the focus of project control is on fulfilling the original design plans or indicating deviations from these plans, rather than searching for significant improvements and cost savings. It is only when a rescue operation is required that major changes will normally occur in the construction plan. Overruns in costs might be due to lower than expected productivity, higher than expected wage costs, higher than expected material costs, or other factors. Even further, low productivity might be caused by inadequate training, lack of required resources such as equipment or tools, or inordinate amounts of rework to correct quality problems. Review of a job status report is only the first step in project control. Project control, reporting, and closeout. Project controls and reporting shall be done using various project and organizational processes. Project controls could use: earned value management shall be utilized on all projects. Work breakdown structure. Project cost estimates include contingency, shall be traceable to work breakdown structure elements of work, and are utilized for budget requests and estimates at completion. Schedules utilize critical path methodology. Project technical, cost and schedule risks shall be defined and mitigation strategies implemented. Project status reports or organizational monthly reports. Management elements. Project scope, cost and schedule status including trends. Milestone and financial status. Variance analysis and corrective actions. Change control activity and use of contingency. Safety and security status, and issues and problem areas. Reporting project performance. To report performance, the simplest method is through schedule and tracking curves. Tracking a curve gauges performance by comparing what has actually been accomplished against what was supposed to be accomplished or planned. This is an effective method of communicating the current status. Tracking curves can be developed for a number of reporting activities like progress, cost changes, and productivity. Each curve can be based on either actual, what has been spent, or on earned value, what has been performed against the plan. In many applications, actual, earned, and scheduled will be identified on the same curve. With the aid of a resource-loaded schedule, which quickly spreads the hours to be earned, and progress curves, one can easily view progress status. Performance measured against a schedule is a comparison of what was planned to what was done. We call this earned or burned. This is the earned hours divided by the actual hours spent. If the budgeted work hours were less than the earned work hours, this would mean that more work was done than planned. The Schedule Performance Index or SPI formula is Schedule Performance Index equals earned work hours or dollars to date divided by budgeted work hours or dollars to date. The Schedule Performance Index can also be actual days or scheduled days. A duration-based schedule will give you the Schedule Performance Index. Performance measured against budget is a comparison of what was done to what was paid for. This is done by earned work hours compared to actual work hours. The Cost Performance Index or CPI formula is Cost Performance Index equals earned work hours or dollars to date divided by actual work hours or dollars to date. Project managers should also be interested in knowing how well actual productivity, or work hours or units, compares with the figures used in planning and budgeting the work. A performance factor, or PF, might be calculated for a single work package or a combination of work packages, or the total project for using this formula. Performance factor equals the sum of earned man hours divided by the sum of actual work hours. To get the performance factor, divide the earned hours by the actual. Although numbers greater than 1 or less than 1 can represent measures of good productivity, CMS Incorporated will formulate data so that performance exceeding the base is greater than 1. Although there may be some arithmetic advantage in a number less than 1, we believe everyone understands the concept of giving 110%, and this allows the data to be clearly understood. Productivity is a relative measure of labour efficiency, either positive or negative, when compared to an established base or norm as determined from an area of great experience. Positive productivity will include less money spent, less time spent, less man-hours spent, and a more bang for the buck. There are many factors that affect productivity, and several of these are individual worker skills, material and equipment availability, interruptions, engineer change control, safety or loss control, change management, and planning. The simplistic overall understanding for productivity would be the quality units or work hours. Or we could just ask and assess these aspects. How much did we plan to do? Budgeted cost for work scheduled. How much work got done? Budgeted cost for work performed. How much did the completed work cost? Actual cost for work performed. What was the total job supposed to cost? Budget at completion. What do we now expect the total job to cost? Estimate at completion.